Hey there, Darkstar here. We're at the end of a 737 career flight. Been a pretty long one. So we'll see how it goes. We're getting close to top of descent there. Obviously going to be a nighttime landing here. Depressingly clear skies, so we may not get much of a bad weather bonus. Now, I always forget, so I'm going to get my landing lights on so I don't forget them later. We got taxi auto. We'll just let that go. I think that's about all we need to do to get ready here. We are in Simrate 2X right now, so I gotta kind of keep an eye on it, make sure we don't overspeed, but we seem to be doing okay. What happens is we come in here, we're going to make this square, and then be on final here. Runway 12. Unless they divert us. I did some work on getting the winds in, and it is giving me a better predicted fuel estimate here. So that's been a little better. It's still off by a couple thousand pounds though. To get your winds in, what you want to do is, well, first of all, you have your VNAV descent forecast winds, so you have that part of it. That's just on the descent part. And then for the en route winds, you go to legs, route data, and then you, well, I can't show them here now because this is part of the descent. So, but you put your wind information in here by waypoints. You can go to SimBrief and get a plan and get the en route wind data. It wasn't super accurate, I think, but it was okay. So we are getting a little behind here on speed, which is okay until we start getting down to 10,000. Now we're still pretty far out. So we will wait on that. We can always deploy our speed brake if we need to and go on altitude hold for a bit. This phase of descent, I'm okay with being fast. Actually wonder what that... No, it's down there. drop it down to, let's say 245, let's go 240, give us a buffer. Wow, that's bright, whatever that is. So as we get below 18,000, we'll go to regular barometric pressure. That's not necessarily that we're over in UK somewhere. I don't know what their transition altitude is. But we'll go ahead and go off standard. And I'm going to just hit comma to go to the local barometric pressure. There we go. It's tossing us around a bit, but I usually like to dial it up or down. And since we're over here, we'll switch to HPA. That's wild. We're pretty close to standard. Guess I should have checked it. Okay, and then let's go ahead and do speed brake here. Just get that slowed down. Go armed. Got our auto brake set. Check our approach ref. We got 140 speed in. I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go ahead and get first notch of flaps out, just because that'll give us a little bit of drag, maybe a lot of drag. Then I'm going to skip some of these waypoints. I'm actually just going to go direct here to Vecchia. Let's go legs, next. Vecchia, previous, enter, execute. Approach here, back in
Copenhagen
touch.
approach. Summit Delta Sierra Tango 4514 is at 10,300 feet climbing flight level tree 50.
Summit Delta Sierra Tango 4514, Copenhagen approach, QNH 1012, radar contact, continue. Summit Delta Sierra Tango 4514, keep speed not above 220 knots, expect ILS runway tree 0, approach via COFO transition. Clear to COFO.
Keep speed not above 220 knots, expect ILS runway tree 0, approach via COFO transition. Clear to COFO. Summit Delta Sierra Tango 4514.
Summit Delta Sierra Tango 4514. Contact Castrop Tower on 119er decimal tree 55 when inbound.
So we're going to have to start over here. 30. COFO. Execute.
Summit Delta Sierra Tango 4514. Acknowledge last transmission.
Yeah, I'm trying to deal with your...
Tower on 119er decimal tree 55. Summit Delta Sierra Tango 4514.
Let's just go manual for now.
Castrop Tower, Summit Delta Sierra Tango 4514, 21 miles west, inbound ILS runway tree 0 approach.
Summit Delta Sierra Tango 4514, Castrop Tower. QNH 1012, cleared ILS runway tree 0 approach.
We'll save that for a minute.
Cleared ILS runway tree 0 approach. Summit Delta Sierra Tango 4514.
Okay, so now we switch to 30, right? So while we fly along here, we are going to need to go back to our, I was already on it, approach. Okay, 108.9. So we need to get that dialed in here, I think. 10890, activate. 10890, activate. And then also our course is 300, of course. And just keeping an eye on this. All right, there's our ILS in. What's it talking about? O-R-Z-I-H. Oh, here. Okay. So there's the airport. Here. We're still sim rate up. I'm gonna go one more notch of sim rate. Just because we're flying kind of slow here. I could fly a little faster. Really wish they would tune the throttles so it wouldn't go up and down, up and down, up and down. It's trying to hit the right number too fast, and so it's overshooting, undershooting, overshooting. Well, big gust of wind there or something. It is a long ways out here. All right, normal sim rate, go legs. Probably waited just a minute too long. It's okay, what we're actually going to do, we'll go direct to here. There we go. No point in veering back over here just to make this turn harder. Where are we flying into anyway? Castro. Okay, I'm gonna sim right up again. Speed brakes armed. Auto brakes are set. I need to get flaps in gear. And we need to get approach mode on since we get around this corner. Okay, back to normal sim rate. Start getting our flaps out. As soon as we get around this corner, we'll get approach mode on. Get the rest of our flaps out. Final flaps in gear by this waypoint. Approach armed correctly. We are on the VOR. Glide slope is armed. We can see that we're below the glide slope. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get auto throttles off and try and get our throttle dialed in here. And of course we're gonna need to drop, well, we're gonna be getting more flaps and gear down, so it's gonna add more drag, so we may not need to reduce the throttle much, but we'll need to be ready to adjust the throttle. Here comes the glide slope. Gear and final notch of flaps. All right, we're slowing down just a little bit.
2500.
It's so much better than that constant throttling up and throttling down, throttling up and throttling down. And it really lets the plane get more stable on the approach. Super annoying.
Summit Delta Sierra Sierra Tango 4514, wind 265 at tree, clear to land runway tree 0.
Clear to land runway tree 0. Summit Delta Sierra Tango 4514.
Okay, speed brakes are still armed, the light's on right there, gear is down, 3 greens, we've got full flaps. Auto throttle is off already, so we'll just need to reduce the throttle and then drop it to idle as we flare and get ready to touch down, and then we'll go thrust reverse. We have a 14 knot headwind right now. Approach looks really good, and since it's not gusty and blowing the plane all around, I might let it auto land and see how it does. But I'm ready to take over if need be. I have never seen it be this smooth. We are swaying a little bit as the winds are shifting. We've dropped to a 6 knot headwind.
Approaching minimums. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Okay, nose gear's down. First thrust coming up. Saw the speed brake arm. Okay, we're below 80. Throttle's back. Leave the reversers out until below 40. We probably could have turned there if we had tried. I'm not going to now.
Summit Delta Sierra Tango 4514, turn next taxiway.
We'll turn left here. Oh, no, up there, up there. I see it now. There we go. I had those off. Kind of need those on for career so you know where it's expecting you to go.
Summit Delta Sierra Tango 4514, exit runway when able.
I wonder how realistic that part of ATC is. Like, I can't imagine they nag you about exit runway when able, exit runway when able.
Summit Delta Sierra Tango 4514, contact ground on 121.7 tree.
One 121.7 tree for Summit Delta Sierra Tango 4514. Ground, Summit Delta Sierra Tango 4514. Request taxi to parking.
Summit Delta Sierra Tango 4514. Taxi to gate Charlie 28 via taxiway Kilo Tree Zulu Mike Yankee, Quebec.
Okay, flaps up, spoilers off. Landing lights off. I don't know if we need these.
Summit Delta Sierra Tango 4514, please acknowledge.
I thought I did.
Taxiing to gate Charlie 28 using taxiway Kilo Tree Zulu, Mike Yankee, Quebec. Summit Delta Sierra Tango 4514.
Not too far, so we'll taxi. And hope we don't blow up taxiing. That is super annoying. Fast there. I wonder if I'm going to get ATC com ding. I feel like they're a little impatient sometimes. I got stuff going on here. Give me a minute. It's so much easier to deal with the taxi with rudder pedals now. Sure feels like we should be at the taxi stand. What is pushing us backwards? It's like we're hitting something. Here. And now for the $20 million question. Hey! We did not get dinged for ATC's comms. That's good to know. wish it would tell you, like, you need a scorecard during the whole flight. Hey, we got a bad weather bonus. That's weird. Hey, some stuff went on sale. Alright, that is the end of that career mission. Thanks for popping by.